Yellowjackets keeps unraveling in unexpected ways, and episode 3 of season 3 is no different. This episode delivers a deeper dive into the characters' psyches, the ongoing tension between the present and past timelines, and introduces more unsettling developments about the mysterious darkness and its hold on the survivors. Welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master. We're in for a ride as we dive deep into the intricacies of episode 3. Let's unpack everything from the deteriorating mental states to the complex relationships at play as we try to figure out who or what is really behind the madness of the wilderness.
Listen, this right here. Are you hearing me?
The ongoing descent of Coach Ben episode 3 makes it clear Coach Ben Scott is spiraling. The once stable authority figure is now a man on the edge, struggling to survive in the wilderness after being cut off from the group. Since the events of the previous seasons, Ben's isolation has led him into a state of delusion and desperation. In the cave, we see him teetering between his remaining humanity and the madness that's overtaken him, especially with Mari as his unwilling companion. Mari, the character who's always been looking for a way to escape, attempts to manipulate Ben by confessing that she's in love with him, but Ben isn't buying it for a second. He quickly shuts her down and makes it clear that he's not interested, adding a strange, almost disturbing anecdote about preferring to die violently rather than sleep with her. His mental state continues to deteriorate as he reveals he's starting to hear strange noises in the cave and admits that he's losing his grip on reality. But even with all of this chaos, Ben isn't completely beyond saving. When Mari tries to use the mace to escape, the situation backfires, leaving them both blind in the cave. Despite the madness around him, Ben's still reluctant to kill her, showing that the last slivers of humanity within him remain intact. However, Mari's desperation leads her to make a chilling suggestion. Ben should let her go. She assures him that no one is looking for him and that he can just pretend to have died. This moment is incredibly important. It's a clear indication that despite everything they've been through, there are still those in the group who don't understand the trauma that has fundamentally changed them. Ben may seem like the enemy to Mari and the others, but deep down, he is just as lost as they are. The fact that Ben ultimately lets Mari go is a rare moment of mercy in the darkness. Despite his deteriorating mental state, there's still a part of him that clings to his moral compass, a piece of the coach who once cared for these girls.
Well, it can be hard, but either way, it's going to get...
The girls' descent into madness, is it all a hallucination? The show continues to blur the line between reality and delusion. In this episode, the group's descent into madness takes on new levels, especially when the girls decide to search for Ben in the dark, even though it's clear they're lost. This decision is the perfect example of the kind of reckless choices the girls are making in their fractured state. The tension between the present and the past continues to grow as they wander deeper into the wilderness, and this moment is amplified when they inhale a poisonous gas while searching for Ben's cave. As if this wasn't enough, the girls start to experience vivid individual hallucinations. Van, Shauna, and Akila each have strange and disorienting dreams. Van's dream, for instance, sends her to a cabin where she sits by a fire, which ultimately burns her. This could be a reflection of her fears about being trapped in a relationship with Ty, a relationship she knows isn't healthy but feels unable to escape. Shauna's dream is even more heartbreaking. She finds herself trapped in a lake, unable to reach her son. This could symbolize her ongoing struggle with guilt and the inability to protect those she loves. Finally, Akila's dream introduces an unexpected twist, a talking alpaca. This might seem absurd, but it carries a profound message. Everything will defend itself. Is this the darkness speaking through the dream? Is it encouraging Akila to let the darkness in, to accept that it's merely a means of self-preservation? The hallucinations point to the idea that the girl's grip on reality is slipping, but it also raises another important question. Is the darkness truly real, or is it just a shared mass delusion, a manifestation of their own trauma and fear?
But you are the worst friend, not the best, and you are
The darkness, real or imagined? The concept of the darkness looms large in episode 3, and its grip on the girls is palpable. Lottie tries to connect with Akila, encouraging her to listen to the darkness. but Aquila, still holding on to some semblance of normalcy, resists. However, Lottie is insistent. She believes the darkness is an essential part of their survival. This belief seems to be growing stronger in her as Lottie's influence over the group continues to expand. At the same time, Van, who has been struggling with her own demons, learns that her cancer has inexplicably stopped metastasizing. The doctor even refers to it as a miracle. But Van isn't one to take things at face value, and she quickly connects the dots. This miracle might be connected to the darkness, and with Ty's recent behavior, she begins to fear that the supernatural forces they encountered in the wilderness have returned. This connection becomes even more apparent when Ty sees the man with no eyes in an ice cream ad, a figure she associates with death from her childhood. The darkness is unmistakably creeping back into their lives. Meanwhile, the girls' hallucinations and dreams are becoming more intertwined. As they stumble through the woods, Shauna's emotional instability is laid bare when she goes on a rage-fueled tirade at Misty, blaming her for messing with the car's brakes and accusing her of being responsible for the mysterious phone at the restaurant. It's clear that Shauna is on the verge of snapping. It's an intense moment, and Misty's reaction is equally telling. She tells Shauna that she doesn't deserve a friend like her, which hits Shauna hard. This moment encapsulates Shauna's internal struggle, her inability to trust, her paranoia, and the fear that she's being consumed by the same darkness that's overtaking the rest of the group.
Mom! Get the fuck out of my house!
Lottie and Callie, a dangerous bond. In the present timeline, things are also heating up. Lottie and Shauna's daughter, Callie, are growing closer, but their relationship seems increasingly ominous. Lottie seems to be grooming Callie, teaching her things that are morally questionable, like shoplifting from a high-end store. Is Lottie trying to bring Callie into the fold as part of a new generation of chosen ones? Callie has become an unexpected focal point of Lottie's plans, and this is becoming more and more apparent. When Shauna confronts Callie about Jackie's necklace, the situation escalates. Callie seems oblivious to Shauna's emotional response, but Shauna's rage is undeniable. The necklace, which once symbolized a kind of twisted, ritualistic passing of the torch, is now a source of immense pain for Shauna. This might be the key to understanding Lottie's role in the present timeline. Could Lottie believe that Callie is the next in line for the darkness, the new vessel for the wilderness's hunger? Lottie's calm response to Shauna's outburst, claiming that the necklace didn't mean what Shauna thought it meant, could be an attempt to placate her, or it could be a subtle manipulation. Either way, Lottie's influence over Callie is becoming too dangerous to ignore.
I'll let you drive home in this condition. Once again, your friends.
Stop it!
Misty and Walter, a growing connection. Misty, who has always been a wild card, is also moving closer to the truth. After her confrontation with Shauna, Misty decides to burn the photo from the reunion, perhaps symbolizing her desire to sever ties with the past. This action sets the stage for Walter's return, and his involvement in the coming episodes is likely to reveal more about the conspiracy surrounding the girls' time in the wilderness. As the present and past timelines collide, the tension continues to build, and it seems like everyone is moving toward a moment of reckoning. Whether it's the darkness or the trauma that still haunts them, the survivors are increasingly caught in a spiral of self-destruction.
Sorry, Coach. You're coming with us.
Theories and questions. What's really going on? So, what's really happening? Is the darkness a tangible entity, or is it merely a manifestation of the survivors' trauma? Are the girls still being hunted by something supernatural, or have they simply created their own monster in their minds? The more we learn about the girls' past and present, the more we realize that the wilderness never truly let them go. It's clear that something or someone is still out there. And whether it's a supernatural force or just the product of their broken psyches, the show continues to pull us into a dark, tangled web.
You have to, or she'll die.
Our Nerdy Thoughts Episode 3 of Yellowjackets continues to blur the lines between reality and madness. The tension between the past and present timelines grows, and the darkness that haunts the survivors shows no signs of relenting. As the girls' mental states deteriorate and their relationships become even more strained. We're left wondering just how much longer they can hold on to their humanity before the wilderness and the darkness consumes them entirely. As always, Yellowjackets leaves us with more questions than answers. Will the survivors ever break free from their trauma? Or will they succumb to the very thing they've been running from? As always, stay tuned for more, because the journey is just beginning.
Oh, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.